Hey y'all, it's Rebecca, and in today's video I figured I would do the update that I've been meaning to do for a couple of weeks now, and I'm kind of down to crunch time and I kind of need to get this filmed because tonight's the last night that I have to film this while I still have a voice, so I figured I would get this filmed. I've got a bunch of orders and stuff to pack. So for those of you that know, that have been following my channel for a while, you know that I've had some ups and downs with my health, and I've been in and out of like strange health situations. And so I don't really talk about my chronic illnesses a whole lot because, to be honest, a lot of people get really tired of hearing about them because, they're like, oh, she's just whining about this or that or whatever. But when you live every day in pain and it's something new every day, it's not the same pain every day, it's not consistent, nothing is ever the same, it's kind of hard to explain your day to somebody else. Like, when my friend Kia messages me and she's like, hey girl, how you doing? I'm like, oh man, my brain just feels like it's going to explode today, or my back is on fire, or something else is going on, whatever. It's never the same. And my head pain is always never the same either. So it's like one of those things that, because my pain is never consistent. Why do you look blurry all of a sudden? 1 second. The camera's like fuzzing out on me. I've got it pushed back for a reason. I don't know why it's like auto-focusing or something on, maybe it's like looking at the clock or something. I don't know what it's doing. So I don't really talk about daily consistent issues that I have on a regular basis. And I'm not going to be doing like rolling my channel intro or anything like that in this video because it's a pretty serious video. So for those that don't know, back in 2022, I had gone to my GP, which for those that don't know, that means general practitioner. It is like the normal everyday doctor that you go to. And I said, hey, I don't have a PM&R doctor, which is a pain management type doctor, or a rheumatologist or anything that I'm seeing right now, but I'm looking to get back on something to help control my fibromyalgia pain, which is widespread pain that I have that radiates places. It causes swelling and inflammation and muscle aches and fatigue and all kinds of other craziness. And I have a really severe form of fibromyalgia. I've had it since I was 18. It is caused by PTSD brought on by severe traumatic events due to sexual, physical, and mental abuse that I suffered as a child growing up. And due to multi-family and personal people abusing me as a child growing up, it caused a lot of health problems for me. And so I now suffer with a chronic illness that causes widespread pain on a daily basis due to somebody else being inappropriate with me at a very young age. And if you guys want to watch that video, just look up on my channel the abuse history and you guys can watch that video. It's very hard to film, and I filmed that several years ago. I've gotten some very mixed comments on that video. Anyways, so I asked the doctor, I said, hey, I used to take Neurontin years ago for pain. It worked really great. I didn't really have any side effects to it. Not like with like Lyrica and some of the newer meds that caused my hair to fall out, my stomach to rot, and me not to be able to eat. Because there was like Effexor XR, there was Lyrica, or there was a few other meds that they put you on for fibromyalgia to help control the pain. And at the time, Lyrica was newer to the market when the doctors had switched me to it, and then I had horrible reactions to it. So Neurontin, which is the name, like the actual prescription name for it, the generic is called gabapentin. The doctors were like, sure, we'll put you back on it, no problem. If you were on it for like over a decade and you didn't have any problems, then we have no problem putting you back on it. So I went back on that medication, and if I look back at like my pharmacy records and stuff, I went back on it in March of 2022. By May of 2022, I had gone from 130 pounds to 205 pounds, and I'll put some photos up so you can see just how large I got. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. I literally couldn't bend my fingers. I had so much swelling in my legs that when I would walk, my legs would slosh. Every time I took a step, I could feel all the liquid in my legs moving. It was really awful. And I had just moved to Georgia, so from Florida, so it was a new state for me. I was with whole new doctors and stuff. I was on Jason's insurance. So this was like, I mean, we had good health coverage, but all of a sudden, like, my whole health was like upside down. And then I had a mini stroke and ended up in the hospital in April. And so I was having like a whole bunch of like really strange health stuff. So I stopped taking the gabapentin that I had been recently put on. I'm like, oh my God. It took me 2 years to get that weight off. Well, in the interim of that, I've been meeting with neurologists and a PM&R doctor, which is pain management. He's an anesthesiologist. I went to a rheumatologist, which was a complete fucking waste of time because all that man knew how to do was print something out, send me home with a printout, and go, I think you might have this. Never ever gave me a firm diagnosis, put me on a medication that counteracted what I was currently on because I'm on opioid medications and have been since I was 20. The medication he put me on was called naltrexone. Let me go get the bottle 1 second. Okay, I had to go get the meds because I stopped taking it because after talking to my one doctor, I'm like, my meds are not as effective. I don't know what's going on. Can you up my pain meds? Because like I'm in so much pain, they're just not working. Come to find out, this prescription right here was causing the problems. This is called LDN or naltrexone HCl. This is low dose naltrexone. It is a 4.5 milligram pill. And they're basically super tiny little pills that I had to pay to have compounded. And I have basically almost an 8-month supply right here. So this is used by drug addicts to get them off of medications like morphine. I take morphine every fucking day. Morphine. This is a medication used by alcoholics and drug addicts to get them off of the medications and substances that they are addicted to. This brings people back from meth and heroin and other meds like that. And it's like, why the fuck would a doctor prescribe a medication like this for me, knowing that I'm on an opioid medication to control pain? So the rheumatologist put me on that medication knowing the list of meds that I'm currently taking. And I mean, the list of meds. This man almost single-handedly made me lose my fucking mind because I'm in so much pain every day. I was literally vomiting up my meds because I couldn't control my pain anymore. Because this medication was neutralizing my pain meds and my muscle relaxers. Because of this medication, I was not able to function because of his dumbass. So after we figured that problem out and I stopped taking those meds, again, prescribed by a professional with access to an entire list of my meds, because when I go to the doctor, I bring this list with me. Okay? This is a list of all of my medications. And all of my vitamins that I take. All of the vitamins that I take are on one side. All of the prescriptions I take are on this side here. Dosage, how often I take them, the name of the meds, the pharmacy's phone number, even the doctor that prescribed them is on this list. This man had access to all of this information, as well as the list of physicians that attend me are on the top. So what I don't understand is why a physician that has access to all of this information could fuck up that bad. So once I get off of that medication and I'm slowly getting back to a normal semi-managed pain status where I'm not at a 10 every day, I'm kind of like at a 7, 8, where I don't want to like vomit every day that I'm, alive. Most days I want to just die anyways. So I'm slowly starting to lose the weight. And one of the medications the pain specialist had put me on was Topamax or topiramate. Now, I know somebody that took Topamax years ago that was in Florida, and this woman claimed that it made her go blind. And then she collected a huge settlement check from it. And I honestly don't think she ever went blind. I think she used that to get a lot of money from the government and the church that she would go to, because the police wanted to interview me about her at one point in time. And I provided them all the information that I had about her. And then she turned around and used my information to try and get credit cards and things in my name, using my credit or using my social security number to get credit in my name, because her last name, Law, is now associated with my fucking name on my credit report. So I filed FTC fraud charges against her for that, because it's now showing up on my credit that this woman is still trying to use my social security number to get credit to this very fucking day. So yeah. So anyways, and I haven't talked to this woman in like 15 years, and she still just recently applied to get a credit card in my name, or in a version of my name, my first name, her last name, my social security number, her birth date. So just recently, and I'm no longer living in Florida. So yeah, I'm dealing with a whole lot of shit here. So when I went on Topamax, I was 168 pounds. And again, I'll throw some photos up so you guys can see what I look like. Again, I really hated what I look like, because for most of my life, I was between 112 and 115 pounds. And again, I'll show you photos of what I've looked like most of my life. I've always been thin. I've always worn like a 5'6" in clothing size. Very rarely did I wear a size 8. I never wore anything over a size 8 unless I was pregnant, which I went up to a size 10, 12 when I was pregnant. Not knowing that maternity clothing, like, you didn't actually go up a size, you just bought your regular size and you just bought maternity clothes. I didn't know that. I was just buying bigger sizes to fit, because I look normal minus the watermelon that I swallowed. So, if my kids ever get pregnant, that they'll have that to look forward to, because they should probably have my genetics when it comes to that. And hope to God they don't end up blowing up like a buffalo like my mom, because she's fucking ginormous. And if I can find a photo on my computer of how large my mom is, over 400 pounds, I'll throw a photo of her up. Because my mom is quite huge. Like, her wrists are almost 1.5 of mine wide. That gives you an idea of how big my mom is. So anyways, I went on Topamax to help control my migraines, because I'm on other meds for my migraines, but now I'm on a new insurance as of January. Jason lost his job last October, and so we lost his insurance, which was a fantastic insurance plan, just compared to what I'm dealing with now. That when you call the insurance company, you legit can only ask one fucking question to Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, and then the motherfuckers hang up on you. Yes. That is if you actually make it that far to ask your question to one of the human robots that work there at the call center that don't even fucking speak English, because you're calling a call center in a third world country, because they won't pay for people in the United States to answer the phone. They hire people out in another fucking country because they don't want people in the United States handling their calls, because we charge too much. And of course, have common decency laws and shit like that. EEOC kind of things. Anyways, so I started taking Topamax last year for the migraines. I started off with a tritation pack. And what a tritation pack is you start off with 1 dose this day, and then the next day you do this dose and another dose staggered. Then you stagger how you go up. Sometimes you do like one dose for like so many days, and then you go up a dose. And sometimes it'll be like 10 milligrams for like so many days. And then the next time you take a dose up, you'll do like 10 milligrams, and then you'll break that pill in half, and you'll do like 10 milligrams for like the morning. You'll take that half a pill at night. So then you're at 15 milligrams for that day. So that's how you tritate up on a regimen for pills to get to the desired milligram level for that medication the doctor wants you on. So I had gotten up to, and I think my Topamax is a 25 milligram pill. Let me look. They're 50 milligram tabs now. So I, at one point, was on 50 milligrams in the night and 50 milligrams in the morning. I was on 100 milligrams a day. But then I noticed I dropped like 20 pounds in like 30 days. And I'm like, something's not right here. And I couldn't eat anything. And no matter what I tried to eat, I could only eat a couple of bites of food, and then I would get super nauseous and super sick. So I talked to my PM&R doctor, and I'm like, something's wrong. I can't eat. When I do eat, I get sick. If I try and force myself to continue to eat after I feel full, I vomit everything back up. And I don't throw up. I've never had an eating disorder in my life. I've never had an eating disorder. I've never thought I looked fat. I've never been bulimic. I've never had anorexia. I've never had anorexia nervosa, unbeknownst to my mom, who is a fucking humongous fucking fat cow, over 400 pounds. I've never had an eating disorder. I've never looked at myself in the mirror and gone, oh, I'm fat, until I weighed 205 pounds, because then I was fat. I have never looked at myself in the mirror at 112 or 115 pounds and gone, oh, I need to lose weight. I've never thought that. I've never starved myself because I thought I needed to lose weight. I've never had that mentality. I've always been thin. I've always like eaten when I'm hungry. I've always eaten to satiation. I've never like force fed myself. I've never binged eaten. I've never overeaten or forced myself to continue to eat once I felt full. Like, unless it's like one or two more bites. Like, if I have a bowl of cereal and I've got like those little mini wheats running around the bottom of the bowl, and if you don't eat them, they're going to like turn into shredded mush. Like, if there's like two or three of those running around in my bowl, damn right I'm going to eat those little fucks, because who wants to eat mushy cereal? So yes, I'm going to chase them around in the milk. I might even drink some of the milk off so I can find little shits easier. And then I'm going to eat the last little couple ones running around in the bowl. But what I found was I can grab a handful of cereal with my hand and throw it in my bowl of milk, because it seems to work for me. I put milk in my bowl first, and then I add cereal and eat, because I get ADHD, I get distracted, and I'm like, I kind of like wander off and forget about cereal. So I found that if I only add enough cereal and eat when I'm eating at the time, and then put the bowl of milk down, when I'm ready to eat again, I just grab the box of cereal off the floor or off the side, wherever I put it, reach in and grab another little handful of food and throw it in my bowl and eat it until it's gone. I started noticing that after I was on that 100 milligrams a day of Topamax, that I could eat one handful of Frosted Mini Wheats, and it's like those last couple of little scragglers that I'm chasing around the bowl. If I forced myself to eat those, my stomach would be very unhappy with me. And then I would go to bed like 2 or 3 hours later, and I would lay in bed in so much pain, in so much stomach cramping pain, that I would end up getting out of bed anywhere between 3 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. and literally throw up everything. And when I mean everything, I'm even talking about these. These are my night meds. It is 12:28 a.m. when I'm filming this, because I had to work. This was the last day that I could work for the rest of February. It's February 18th right now. But this pill right here, this is my glycosamine, or not glycinate, my magnesium glycinate. This is one of the glycinate pills that I take. This is one of my magnesium complexes. This is a vegetable glycerin tablet. This is a vegetable glycerin tablet. These are supposed to dissolve faster in your stomach than something like this. Let me get it out. That is a coated tablet. So this pill is supposed to dissolve faster than this type of pill, because this has a coating on it which makes this be extended release, which is the same as my morphine. My morphine is extended release. But these types of capsules with a powdered substance inside, which is 3 different types of magnesium, because this has glycinate, citrate, and the one that starts with the letter T, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's supposed to help with mental stuff, like with migraines. So I take one that helps with like anxiety and sleep. Citrate helps with like bowel movements and stuff, and then the other one helps with like migraines and stress and stuff. So this one's a, magnesium complex. I was just taking magnesium glycinate at night to help with like sleep and stuff, and it really does help me. But I was finding that when I would go to, like, when my stomach was like done with the food in it, and I would vomit that stuff up like 6 hours after I ate, not only would I puke all that back up, but I'd puke up the pills that I took at 1 a.m. too, and they'd been sitting in my stomach for 3 to 4 hours, and they wouldn't process. So I had what is called a gastric emptying test done last week, and I'll throw up the thing here. I tested at the low end of normal. So now I'm going in tomorrow morning for biopsies and one of these. Yeah. Here's my paperwork, if you don't believe me. There's my name. There's the time. And they're going to knock me out for it. And I had until midnight to eat, and I ate as much of my soup as I could. There's like, I started off here, and that's how much I was actually able to eat. That's it. And this is the broccoli and cheddar soup. And I had 3 grapes in here. As you can see, there's 1 left. I ate 2. And I had a couple of crackers. Got a little thing of crackers here. I had 3 crackers total. So I had this much soup. My Gatorade is about right here in the bottle. So I had that much Gatorade to drink. I had coffee earlier. I had that much soup. I had 3 crackers and 2 grapes, and that's all I've had to consume all day. And I can't eat anymore. Not just because I'm having this procedure done tomorrow morning, to find out why I can't eat food and why I can't digest food and why I can't keep food down. But also because I'm so overfull right now, I'm in pain. And if I do try and eat anymore, I know when I go to take my meds in 30 minutes that I'm going to vomit everything back up. And it's not going to be worth it. So this will be the second one of these I've had done. The doctor thinks I have gastroparesis. And I'm going to stand up now so that you can see just what I look like. I have dropped so much weight so quickly, my ass deflated. And I'll show you what I look like at this weight before. I'm 115 pounds right now. This is what I looked like at 115 pounds, just to give you an idea, before I stand up. Because I feel deflated everywhere. My chest is sunken, my arms are shrunken to nothing, my legs are fucking toothpicks, my ass is completely gone, my back is nothing but bones, and I can't eat. I cannot fucking eat on a regular basis. I go almost every day, and I might eat once, and I might even eat enough to fill the palm of my hand, and that's about as much as I can put in my stomach and actually keep down on a daily basis. And I printed out all the information for gastroparesis and diets and what to do when you have gastroparesis and how to change your eating for it. Like what to do, what dietary things should you eat, what you should eat versus stay away from. I will leave some of the research that I did in the comments, like in the description box below, because when I came home and Angela, my doctor, and yes, I call her Angela. I mean, she's my age. We kiki at the damn doctor's office, okay? I feel like she's more my friend. You know, granted, she's a doctor, but she's like a peer and, whatnot. And I think she's fabulous. So, and she calls me Rebecca and I call her Angela. So, but like, when she saw me in October and she said, Rebecca, what the hell? And at that point, I was still I was 138 pounds when I saw her in October. She's like, you look like a freaking teenager. What happened? And I said, well, I mean, I'm back down to my Georgia weight. I mean, this is about what I weighed when I moved to Georgia. And then when she saw me in January at 116 pounds, she said, holy shit, Rebecca, what happened? And I said, well, now you know what I look like for at least 35 years of my life. She's like, what happened? And I said, I can't eat anything. And I don't know what's going on. And I mean, stress could be the cause of some of this stuff because my house caught on fire in January. And we were without heat for 5 days. And Jason still doesn't have a job. And I'm killing myself at work. And we're trying to sell our house. And then I keep having to push that back. And just all this other shit is piling on me. And I feel like I'm the only one doing anything around here because basically I am. And I've got all this weight on me. And I have zero fucking help. And when I do give a list for help, I get zero results. And she's like, yeah, but stress doesn't cause this. Tell me a little bit about more about what's going on. Because back in October, I had some CTs done because I have this sharp abdominal pain in my lower right quadrant of my abdomen that was very sharp and it's like stabbing. And I still have sharp stabbing pains there. But when they did the CT scans back then, the radiologist basically said, oh, she's full of crap. So that, that's what it is, that she's just backed up and she's in pain because of that. And we're just going to write it off as that she's got IBS-C, and that's basically what it is. She's backed up. Even doing colon cleanses and that kind of stuff, even going on medications, which is Cascara Sagrada, which is actually a vitamin that helps like keep things regulated. It's like a kind of like palm substance. Even taking that to keep things moving and drinking coffee regularly to keep things moving, even knowing that I have regular movements because I do have IBS-C, I've had it since I was a kid and didn't even realize it, that I'm still having the abdominal stabbing pains that I've had for months now. And there's no way that I could be constipated for over 6 months and that this pain is still in the same region. I'll be sitting somewhere talking to Jason, and next thing I know, it feels like somebody's just ice picked me in the gut. And that's not normal, which is what the testing is about tomorrow, to find out what the fuck is going on. So let me stand up really quick. I'm going to move the camera. I'm going to stop the recording for a second so I can reposition the camera so I can actually stand up and like walk a distance so you can actually see what the fuck I look like now. I am literally a walking skeleton right now. A walking skeleton. And no, I don't look good like this. If you think I look good like this, and there's something mentally wrong with you, because I look ill. I do look ill. And this is not healthy in any way, shape, form, or appearance. And this is not what you should aspire to look like in any way ever. Like I look at Eugenia Cooney looking worse than I do right now, and I just know she's ill just by looking at her. And I never want to look like Eugenia Cooney anyways, because the girl is ill and probably more mental, physically, mentally, everything. And her mom's like a controlling psycho, but people aspire to look like that. And I don't think that that should ever be the norm. Like I look like the way that they wanted us to look in the 90s and 2000s. All the cover models were like supposed to look like this, and they thought that this was okay, and it's not fucking okay, because I feel horrible all the time, and it's not okay. So let me set up the camera so that you can see me at a distance, and I'll start recording again. All right, so I'm standing up. I'm gonna come back over here. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. So I'm standing up all the way. These are my legs. Trying to show you things without showing you things. Now, granted, my stomach hurts right now because I ate so much that my stomach is cramping really bad. So my stomach is a little bloated right now because of that. So, no, stop it. Hair stuck in my pants. I can feel it. There you are. Now, if I was to suck in my stomach, which does hurt right now pretty bad, but like even my arms are super thin. Like I've got indents in my arms. My shirt's gonna fall here in a second again. Look at this. It's just skin hanging. Look at how thin my arms have gotten. Like this isn't normal. So when I say that I've lost a ton of weight, I'm literally 115 pounds right now. Now granted, again, I mean, that's what I weighed most of my life, 112 to 115 pounds. And no matter how many Snickers bars I ate, no matter how much food I consumed throughout the day in my younger years, it didn't matter how much I ate. I still couldn't put on weight when I was younger. And so recently, I asked my pain specialist to put me back on gabapentin. So we're doing Topamax one night and gabapentin another night so that I can maintain at least some weight. So since I went back on gabapentin, I'm not losing any weight right now. I'm maintaining a steady weight between 115 and 116 pounds. It does fluctuate from the time of day and whatnot and what clothes I'm wearing. So there's at least that. That's a positive thing. That I haven't continued to lose weight. So tomorrow, and I don't want to show like the test results and stuff from last time. I'm going to go ahead and pull my hair up. That's another thing. My hair is so thin now. Like, I mean, I still have a lot of hair, but like, I'll show you. See how thin my hair is? My hair was double this thickness before. Double thick than this. So, and my hair is still a little damp from my shower that I took at like, I I think I worked for like 4 to 6:30, and then I took a shower really quick, and then I went back to work at 7:30. But and I am losing so much hair. Any more down there? Might be up. So there's 4 hairs that just fell out with me just... Oh, you probably can't even see it. I'll put a piece of paper behind it. See there? So, but yeah, my hair is like falling out like crazy. I'm losing handfuls, like literally handfuls of hair a day. You should see just the amount of hair. Like, look at this. This is just what I grabbed out of the trash can. And this is just like what I pick off of me and throw in the trash can that I find like touching me and stuff. I'm like, get it out. So, yeah, I'm losing like handfuls of hair a day. So, so hopefully tomorrow with the endoscopy and biopsies and stuff that they're doing tomorrow, we can figure out what's going on. Because the last time I had my GI doctor do an endoscopy, we found that I had esophageal narrowing. So basically the center of my throat looked like a lifesaver, like the center of a hole of lifesaver. Like that was as large as my throat was, which the center of a hole of a lifesaver is like 6 millimeters, which is, just to give you an example, this necklace has 6 millimeter round beads on it. So 6 millimeters round is about the size of one of these beads. That's it. That's as big as the round as my throat is. So when I swallow stuff, that's how big the hole is that the food or whatever I'm swallowing would go down. And to give you an idea, this pill in relation to that bead. I'm curious. I think this pill is probably 8 millimeters. Okay, I zeroed it out. Wait, why you got one? Stop it. Okay, zeroed it out. Okay, we're gonna test my pill. 8 millimeters. I can judge them. Look at that. That's pretty bad. I can eyeball a pill and know how big it is. But then again, you figure I worked with gauges and beads and stuff like that, so I should be able to eyeball these kinds of things and tell you exactly what millimeter they are. But, so yeah, my throat hole, the hole in my throat where stuff goes down, is smaller than that pill, or at least it was 2 years ago when I had my endoscopy done because of esophageal narrowing, which I didn't really talk about that when that was done, but I had, acid reflux, and they put me on pantoprazole, which is, the hell is that medication called? Let me look and see what the hell the name of that shit is, like the regular name of it. Protonics. That's the brand name for it, Protonics. So, I had no idea I had acid reflux. I would brush my teeth and then go to bed, and then I'd wake up several hours later and my mouth would be really sweet. And I just thought it was like residue from me brushing my teeth. Angela explained to me that, after like an hour and a half, our mouth is already flushed out, the toothpaste and stuff from us brushing our teeth. So there's no way that our mouth would still be sweet that long after resting. So after you've been asleep or resting for more than 4 hours, there's no way your mouth would be sweet from your toothpaste. And usually when you have severe acid reflux, when you're severely thirsty, which I was always really thirsty when I woke up, and your mouth was sweet, those are indicators for acid reflux. And I had no idea. I didn't even know I had acid reflux because, my dad always used to talk about, having heartburn and this and that, and I'm staying away from like red sauces and stuff. And red sauces have always upset my stomach anyway, so I always stayed away from them for the most part. I've always been kind of an Alfredo girl anyways. But like, I didn't know that I had acid reflux. So I found that out from my first GI test. And then I also found out that I have what is called a hiatal hernia, which is where, let me grab a little thing, because there's actually a handy dandy little chart in here. Okay, where is the stomach? Okay, so in here, you see this like line up here going across, that's your diaphragm. And then down here, is your stomach. When you have a hiatal hernia, what really happens is your stomach ends up coming up through this hole and ends up here. which is where it's not supposed to be. That's what they call a hiatal hernia, which means basically part of your stomach is up above your diaphragm, and it's usually just a small portion of your stomach, which in my case is about half of a fist, quarter of a fist above my diaphragm where it's not supposed to be. Now, it's been said that you can actually do like certain exercises and stretches and stuff like that to kind of like get it to go back down. And there was this one lady that I was watching who was saying that if you have a hiatal hernia, that if you like sit in your chair and you sit upright, you put one arm down below your chair, which is kind of hard to do when you got an armrest, but you do like one arm stretch and then you like stretch up and like, you know, do the whole like finger stretch thing. And then you put the other arm opposite and you're like doing the stretch and reach and breathe thing. And then you do deep breaths in and out, and then you switch arms and you do that like every day, every day. For an extended period of time. What it can do is, as you're doing deep breathing, it allows for the diaphragm to open up enough and allows for your stomach to kind of slip back through that opening. And so I have been doing that for a while. So I'll be interested to see if doing any of those exercises that I found through YouTube videos was enough to move any of my stomach back below my diaphragm, to see if that helped at all. Because honestly, with how I feel, I can still feel food up here. And I'll even reposition again and show you. Okay. So when I slouch, of course, you got under boob. I have stomach that when, like even as early as last year, let me point this down just a hair. You can see my tummy area. Okay. So see how I have this line here? I have line there. This is actually my natural waist when I like slouch. This is my waist. I'm high-waisted. But I have a line here as well. It's like a meridian line. My stomach, I've got a piece of my stomach up here, and I can still feel it there. It's like rock hard when you mash on it. Like lightly, I'm like not mashing, but you know what I mean? I'm like manipulating it. I can still feel part of my stomach up here. And then, of course, your diaphragm is usually here and below. And then your stomach would be below that. So when you take a deep breath in, you go... You figure your rib cages are here. And your diaphragm usually hugs that rib cage. And again, under boob, which I don't have much of those left either, because I told you I shrunk everywhere. So like where your ribs come up, I have stomach right in here, where I should have stomach under this line here. So I already knew something was wrong, and I know I can still feel part of my stomach up here. So what I'm hoping for is that after this upper GI endoscopy tomorrow, is that they'll tell me whether or not any of it's gone down. Because the same doctor, I feel like I got a burp. And of course, doing that loosens the bubble and it can come up easier. Because I do have esophageal narrowing. The inside of my throat is this big around. So doing that allows, when I do this, it allows for it to like break up so it can come out. Also helps when food is stuck too. But I'll be interested to see what has changed from the first test and this one. I also plan to take this with me, so I need to make sure that I get the SD card out of this tonight. Actually, I'm probably going to do that now. There's my little thing on the lab, so I can get my little card out of it. Oh, I did take it out already. Where'd you go? Oh, I did, didn't I? It's right here. So, I'm going to go ahead and pull the videos off of here because most of that is like GoPro footage from like collecting firewood from the yard and riding the motorcycle and stuff when it's freezing cold. So I will charge that up and I plan on taking that with me. Now, granted, it'll probably be in a pocket tomorrow because they don't allow like filming or anything in there because they don't want you to see the procedure or their equipment or anything like that because they're like, I don't know why doctors are like super weird about that. Like the one doctor's office would be perfectly okay with me filming my injections and stuff, but I don't do needles, so I don't want to see them on camera, which is why I always like pointed at the ceiling or something because I don't want to see needles and stuff on my videos. There's another hair, another hair. But I want to be able to film what the doctors are saying this time so I can hear. The other thing is last time I had this procedure done, the doctor came out and like rattled off a whole bunch of directions at me while I was coming out of anesthesia. And look, I'm the bitch that you can talk to when you're sleeping and get advice from, and I will be flat fucking honest with you. But don't ask me anything you don't want the honest to God truth about, because I will be flat fucking honest with you about it. Only problem is I won't remember jack and shit later. Like, I won't remember anything about the conversation. I won't remember anything you asked me. I won't remember you talking to me. I won't remember anything, literally, because I was asleep. So, trust me, I had a couple ex-boyfriends that use that to their advantage. So, I had one that was really stupid, and he asked me something about how would I feel if he cheated on me or something. I guess he didn't like my answer. He got really mad at me. So don't ask me something when I'm sleeping that you don't want the answer to, because I will be honest and your feelings will be hurt. Because I don't have much of a filter when I'm awake. I have zero filter when I'm asleep. None. So you've been warned. But anyways, when I'm coming out of anesthesia, because of the medication that they give you to knock you out, it's so nice and quiet and peaceful. I don't want to come back from it. But also, I don't remember anything that the doctor, he came in last time and he rattled off a bunch of stuff to me and I recorded it with my cell phone. Don't ask me what he said. Number one, he's Indian. I don't know what the fuck he's saying anyways, because I have a very hard time understanding Indian English, like Indian from India English, like my friend from Punjab. Like, I even have a hard time understanding her when she speaks. I don't know what it is about the Indian language, but or any of their dialects, any of the languages that they speak, I can't. I cannot with the accent. I can't understand it. Indian and Pakistani accents, I can't understand them, period. Not to be rude, just being honest, just saying I can't fucking understand them. And I dated a guy from Iraq and I had zero problems understanding his accent at all. But you put somebody in the room with me that speaks that was born and or raised for a short time in India, their accent and how they pronounce things in English, can't fucking make English out of it. It does not compute in my brain. And I speak bits and pieces of 7 languages. It does not compute. So, I mean, he could have been speaking in Hindi to me for all I knew, because I literally didn't fucking understand anything he said. So what I don't understand is when doctors talk to you after a procedure and like they're coming to you after you've like come out of shit. Why do they do that? You're not going to remember any of that shit anyways. So that's why I'm going to take the GoPro. It'll record until the battery dies. The procedures aren't that long. The procedure starts at 10:45 in the morning. I'm going to make sure that it's fully charged overnight. And then I've got a fresh SD card to put in. It's got 16 gigs on that card. I'm going to make sure that I wipe it and reformat it before I go to bed, so that all I have to do is just pull it off a charge before I go in the morning. But it's like, don't talk to me when my brain is waking up from anesthesia. Your forms, and this is another thing, okay? It clearly says on here, if your procedure requires sedation, a driver 18 or over must accompany you for your appointment, right? It says you may not go home in a taxi or a rideshare, blah, blah, blah. The sedation you will receive will prevent you from driving safely and working the day of your procedure. Following your procedure, do not drive or operate heavy machinery or sign legal documents for 24 hours. Like, it's right the fuck here. Okay, if I'm not supposed to drive or operate heavy machinery or work for at least 24 hours, why the fuck are you trying to tell me instructions and shit right after the fucking procedure when my brain is going, make that make sense? I'm not in my right fucking mind half the time anyways, and now you're talking to me when I'm on drugs, like drugs that I don't normally take, and you're trying to tell me something that I'm supposed to fucking remember that I ain't gonna fucking remember because I'm on new drugs and my brain's going, woo! And like, I can't remember none of that shit. And of course your driver isn't allowed back in the operating area, so they can't get those instructions. And they usually tell you, oh, well, we'll give your driver the instructions that they're going to need. They didn't give Jason shit last time. They sent me home with no fucking instructions. None. I had nothing to go home with. No care instructions, no post-op, nothing, no fucking nothing. None. So when they say, your driver's been given all the information that you need, do you know that man can't remember fucking yesterday? Don't tell him anything. He ain't going to fucking remember. Like, I don't know why you telling him shit when, dementia runs in his family or Alzheimer's or one of the two. And like, I can ask him to do something and 20 hours later, he still don't remember. And he didn't do it when I asked him, and he didn't do it 5 minutes later, and he still ain't done it 2 days later. So I know for the fact that man can't fucking remember shit. So then you talking to me on sedation, and I have CRS as well. So I don't know why the fuck you going after me. But then it even talks about like all the other like things, what to do like up to your procedure, what to do after your procedure. Like, after your procedures, if biopsies were taken or abnormalities, English, if biopsies were taken or abnormalities were found, we will contact you within 14 days of your procedure, because you have to send it off to a lab to run the test, which I already knew. And then the last page is like directions to the facility, which I already know how to get there. It's right next to the hospital I was just at Wednesday, because I'm the one driving there. Jason's the one driving home. So this one says nothing by mouth after midnight. This excludes prescription medications, which is now 1:03 a.m. So I'm going to be ending this soon here in a minute so I can take those, which can be taken 2 to 4 hours prior to your procedure with a sip of water. Sip of water. And anyways, if my procedure is at 10:45 a.m., most of my meds I don't take until 1 a.m. anyways, so, or 1 p.m. anyways. But then, and then it says, since your procedure requires sedation, blah, blah, blah. And then it talks about like all that stuff. But like, they're supposed to send you home with like care instructions and what to do. Last time they did this procedure, I literally lost my voice. It hurt so bad. My throat hurt so bad. I couldn't even swallow. It hurt to breathe. Just trying to like inhale was painful. And I had to be on the phones. I was still working at Nike back then. And like, oh my God, it was like awful. I was a supervisor, but you know, when you get a supervisor call, you can't turn that shit down. You have to take the call. And I couldn't get anybody to take my shifts. And I still had to fucking work. And it was bad. I couldn't even fucking talk. And I ended up losing my voice because I had to go back to work right after the procedure. And so this time I have no hours. I am not planning on picking up any hours or anything. I have no hours for the rest of the month. I've worked all my required commits. I'm even supposed to start a new job on Monday. And I have no idea what my hours are for training. I have no idea when any of that information is coming in. I don't have any information. I've already signed all my legal documents with them, but I have no information about my new job. I know we go to training on Monday. We have Tuesday and Wednesday off, and then we're supposed to go to training Thursday and Friday, but we're supposed to have equipment shipped to us, and I still don't have jack and shit for equipment. So I don't even know what the hell's going on with that. But then it's like, I do not plan on talking for at least as long as I can to give my throat a chance to rest, because I do know that Angela said they're taking biopsies this time of my throat and my stomach. So they're cutting a hole in my throat and they're cutting a hole in my stomach to take pieces of it. So, yay. So I know I'm going to be down for that, like extra time to heal and whatnot. And I'm going to be one cranky bitch because I don't do well when I'm in pain. Like I lash out and I get angry and hateful and, you know. It's like I need one of these when I'm in pain. Snickers bar, which I can't even finish the last little bite of this because I'm so over full. There's like literally a bite left and I can't even eat it right now because I'm in so much pain. But yeah, I'm the kind of bitch that gets so cranky that you need to throw a Snickers bar at me. But okay, so this is the life and health update that I've been talking about that I needed to get done. If you guys are curious about the house fire thing, I can probably do one of those videos a little bit more in depth, but this was more the health stuff because it was more, you know, because the procedure's tomorrow morning. You know, it kind of needed to get done. But long story short, the breaker panel caught on fire, almost caught the house on fire had I not caught it in time and shut it off. The house would have burned down with us in it the second week of January. So we caught it. We have a brand new breaker panel. We had all new electrical done, and there's that. And then a week after that, the plumbing backed up in the house because the people that owned this house before us flushed their fucking wipes, wet wipes and stuff down the toilet, which you should never flush those things because they're not biodegradable. And even though they had the sewer pumped, the house backed up and there was raw sewage on my bathroom floor and in the bathtub, and the toilets wouldn't flush and stuff. And we had to pay several $1,000s to have an electrician come out and redo all the electrical. Then we had to pay several $100s to have a plumber come out and do all the plumbing and stuff to the house. And because of something the electrician did, he blew up my computer and killed a motherboard and several RAM cards in it. And I was so pissed off. Jason took over fixing my computer because I was about to pull a hole and just smash everything, because that's how I get when I'm angry. And I lose control because I literally just go into a rage and I can't control myself. So he took over working on the computer, trying to figure out what happened, because the power went out so many times, it literally blew up my motherboard. So yeah, that was January. 2025 sucks so far. Can I get a refund? Because this year sucks. We have a worthless piece of shit in the White House. Whoever voted for that convicted felon, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, because I certainly the fuck didn't vote for him. And so yeah, procedures tomorrow morning at 10:45, and I'm going to get this edited tonight so it can go up tomorrow. It'll probably go up at 11. So when you guys are seeing this, I will probably already be under sedation. So I'm going to post it on my main channel first, and it'll go up on my secondary gamer channel second. So any videos that are going up from here on out are all pre-filmed and pre-edited and stuff. I did do a Steam reaction video yesterday, so I still need to get that edited. But I did get that filmed yesterday, so that will go up as well for a new game that I'm interested in playing, but not for $130. So I'll wait till the price comes down. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I don't know, leave me some sort of health emoji in the chat. And I'll give you guys an update when I know more.